What is up, guys and girls? Welcome back to Mage Talents. My name is Eric and welcome to another Warlords of Draenor beta video. In this video, guys, we are gonna take a look at the level 100 Mage Talents in Warlords of Draenor. I made a video about this a long time ago, but I never really got to show you the actual talents in action. So here we are on the beta and I'm ready to show it to you. Are you guys ready? Let's do this. We're gonna kick it off with Arcane. In the first section here we got Overpowered. What Overpowered does is that when you cast Arcane Missiles, it will extend the cooldown, not the cooldown, sorry, the duration of Arcane Power. So for example, if I have 2 Arcane Missiles procced and I activate Arcane Power, and if we are at 20 seconds remaining and I cast Arcane Missiles twice, the duration will go up to 24 seconds again. So I will keep extending the duration, and you can actually keep this Arcane Power up for probably 40 seconds. Instead of 30 seconds, so it's actually just a longer burst. Let me show it to you. So we're gonna proc some Arcane Missiles really quick. So we're gonna do that. As you see, we already got a proc, but I want to get to 4 stacks of Arcane Charge. So here we go, activating Arcane Power. Are you guys ready? As you see, I keep using Arcane Missiles, and it will extend the duration of Arcane Power. So that's always a good thing. So with that being said, Arcane Missiles are very good, but it's also very sketchy to go with this one, because you cannot count on every time that your Arcane Missiles will proc. It is actually just RNG, random number generator, so it's actually just based on luck, I guess. The second talent here is Prismatic Crystal, and Prismatic Crystal is the same for all 3 specs, and it's actually very funny indeed. Prismatic Crystal is something we have never seen before as a mage. So what this does is that we can place a crystal next to our target. This crystal is only attackable by the mage, and when this crystal is up and you cast any of your spells, it will automatically deal damage to your enemies around it. Okay, so let me just repeat that. When you activate Prismatic Crystal atop an enemy, then this crystal is only attackable by the mage, and if you hit it, it will take an extra 30% spell damage, and the damage you deal to the Prismatic Crystal will also explode for enemies within 8 yards. So it's actually very good if you're doing AoE or just on a single boss, because it will do extra damage no matter what. And as we see, there's only 16 seconds left now on the cooldown, so we're gonna use it one more time, and I'm gonna use all my shit and show how awesome Prismatic Crystal is. And Prismatic Crystal will only be up for like 10 seconds or so, so you really gotta be effective. Like, it's a very good opener on a boss where you have to activate all your cooldowns and stuff like that. So let's just kick it off, okay? As I'm like spamming things here on my Prismatic Crystal, and as you can see, it is keep getting stronger. There you go. It dealt so much damage, and actually 30% is incredible boost to your ordinary spells. And as an arcane, if you have full stacked arcane charges and then you activate a Prismatic Crystal, then you use your Arcane Power, and then you use your Arcane Missiles and then Arcane Barrage at the very end. This combo will probably one-shot any player that stands. And last but not least, the Arcane Orb is the third of the level 100 Mage Talents for Arcane, and what this does is that launches an Arcane Orb forward from the Mage position, traveling up to 40 yards, dealing a average amount of arcane damage to enemies it passes through. Grants the mage an arcane charge when cast, and every time it deals damage. So imagine if there's actually in a BG and there's 3 enemies lined up, and I will get an extra charge for casting it, then I will get full charged of arcane charges. So that's pretty good. And also on AoE mobs, like let's say I get 4 arcane charges really quick. Let me just do that. Come on. 1, 2, 3, and then we now have 4 charges. Then I'm gonna use Arcane Barrage and quickly Arcane Orb after. When it hits 3 enemies it will give you 4 arcane charges all over again. So you can actually be able to cast 2 arcane barrage right after each other at full power, which is a very good combo. So let me just show it to you really quick. Now I have 4 arcane charges, as you can see, and if I use arcane barrage and then use arcanum right after, and if it hits like 3 enemies and when I casted it, it will give me 4 charges in no time, which is a double arcane barrage at full power. Okay guys, let's take a look at fire for Warlords of Draenor. Alright, so here we have kindling, which is also a passive effect just like the arcane, which extended the arcane power by 2 seconds. This time kindling, what it does is that your fireball, frost fireball, pyroblast and inferno blast, all your useful fire spells except Scourge of course, will reduce the cooldown remaining on combustion by 1 second. So let's just say I have this target here and I use combustion. There you go. Whenever I use any of my primary fire spells, the cooldown will get reduced by 1 second, and as you can see here, it will get reduced a lot. So it is very good. So you can get your what is it called, combustion much quicker. So yeah, not much to be said there. It is a passive effect though, so don't worry about that. Them crits though, they're like really good today. So yeah. And the last of you saw prismatic crystal in action before, so no need to show that again. Let's just take a look at meteor, because meteor is a very interesting spell for fire mages. What it does is that it will call down a meteor which lands at the target location after 3 seconds, dealing a very high amount of fire damage split evenly between all targets within 8 yards. Also burns the ground, dealing an additional small fire damage every 1 second for until cancelled to enemies in the area. So what this does is that I can call a meteor from the sky. So let's just say I summon down a meteor, then I use Dragon's Breath so they're disoriented, and then it will hit them while they're disoriented. And as you can see, okay, I forgot to see how much damage it did, but it really did a lot of damage. And now the target will have a damage over time effect on the target for like 3 to 4 seconds after the actual impact. So it's actually pretty good, and it's a good way to open. It does incredible damage, especially for AoE, and I just think it looks awesome. The animation also is very unique, something we haven't seen before as a fire mage, and I was actually looking forward to fire mages actually receiving meteor spells, because that's probably the most common fire spell there is, except for fireball, what am I saying? So we're gonna use it one more time. You guys ready? So let's just take a look at the damage, and I'm gonna put the health bar off. There you go. And please keep in mind that this is beta, everything can change, but please now take a look at how much damage it does. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Waiting. Alright, 800,000. So if we have to take this after the stat squeeze, let's just take a, if you have to compare that to the stat squeeze, if you are in Draenor and doing PvP, this will probably do around 25,000 on a target, and probably 40 if it crits and stuff like that. It's incredible as an opening spell, and you can use it. There's a 45-second cooldown, and the animation is looking great. And as I said, if you're using this, use it and then use some kind of CC spell so the target will remain where the meteor is about to land, and then the meteor lands and dealing a lot of damage, okay? Alright, saving the best for the very end of the video. Exactly my favorite spec of all time in World of Warcraft, Frost. Alright, let's do this very quick so I can end the video and go on with my wanking. I mean, studying. Yeah, that's the word, studying. Anyway, the first one we have is Thermal Void. Casting Ice Lance extends your Ice Veins by 2 seconds. So if we activate Ice Veins, I can keep extending it by using Ice Lance. Very easy, yay! So of course it does most damage if it is procced, of course. So please keep that in mind. You cannot just spam it on your target, because then you will do 0 damage. No, you gotta make a rotation up for that. So that's simple logic, okay? Let's switch to the last of these talents. We already saw Prismatic Crystal, so no need to show that again. We have Comet Storm. Comet Storm is an incredible and interesting talent. What this does is that it will do as follows: call down a series of 7 icy comets on and around the target, each of which does a fairly amount of frost damage split between all enemies within 4 yards of its impact point. So imagine if this is my target in an arena, let's just say it's a rogue, because I hate rogues. So if there's only one target, all the damage will get directly to that one target, but if there's several targets, then it will get split. So let me just show you it in action and see how much damage it does, okay? So here we are, boom, 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 and I couldn't even catch up, but total I think it did around 800,000 damage, and if we have to scale that down to the stat squish they are doing in Warlords of Draenor, I think it was around 20 to 30k. That is how much damage it did. And when I see other frost mages are going with this in arenas instead of thermal void, I guess you can do that, because ice veins, yeah, it is good, but I mean it is also sketchy, because if you don't receive any procs in your ice lands, and it is pretty useless to just spam ice lands all the time. So Comet Storm is probably much more safer, and just look at the animation is also looking very great. So yeah, that was basically all I have for you in this video, guys. If you liked it, press the like button, it makes sense. That was all I have for you in this video, many more to come. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next one. Take care, guys. Bye bye.